how do you respond to tests will either make you stronger or break you. Um, right? The truth of it is how you respond to it will either make you stronger or it's going to break you. Now, hopefully it doesn't break a lot of you guys, okay? Like if it breaks you, man, like I'm pretty much sure it's going to be over, right? There's no more continuing. Usually when it's over, something happens, something drastic happened. But, for me, like in business, building an online business, building any business, when I remember when I was first started, I was tested many times. I was tested on my resilience, my determination, my problem solving skills. And you know what? Those times when I look back, those were the times that I learned the most. So I was probably 22, 23 at the time. The Amazon business I was doing, we started making consistent 15 to $20,000 a month. Now, this took me 3 years to make happen, right? I didn't just wake up one day and was like, hey, I got this great business that was blowing up. No, I started this business in 2009, right after 2008, right? We're in the middle of a recession. I didn't know that we were in a recession. You know, market was crashing, things were going out of business, big banks were going under. I didn't know. People were losing their house. I mean, I didn't have a house, so I guess I didn't care. You know, I didn't know. I was kind of oblivious to the situation. And we started this business in 2009. We kept sticking to it. And 3 years in, by 2012, we started seeing some results. 3 long, hard years of, just being consistent, showing up, head down, wasn't on social media. Really, trust me, do not be on social media when you doing anything because you don't want to, you don't want to look at other people's life through the window of your phone because it's like, it looks great, but no, it's not really. Everybody got problems. So just focus on you, right? Honestly, I say just unfollow everybody and just follow yourself. Grab another phone, just look at your own images, start posting stuff and just look at your life through the window. That's my suggestion. But, it was head down grinding and I was living in this rental house located on 1101 Cole Avenue in a small town called Monroe, Louisiana. This is the Duck Dynasty territory. Okay, I didn't know that Duck Dynasty was there, but later on I found out that they lived there in this small town, which is interesting. I must have met some of their kids too. Didn't know that. But I lived behind a Vietnamese restaurant next to a Wendy's as well. It was pretty convenient. I walked to school, took me 10 minutes. I could get something to eat in less than 1 minute. So, dude, perfect spot. This rental house became a place of work, a warehouse, a place to eat, a place to party, and a place to sleep. So we're talking about like startup culture, right? I was young. I didn't have a lot. I went to class in the morning, then I went home, work on the business for a few hours, then went to work at my night job at some sushi restaurant, and then, another job at a hibachi grill. And at one point I was working both places just, on days where they didn't schedule me. So just to make enough to pay my bills. And let me tell you this, there's enough time to build a business. You just got to make time for it. It doesn't matter the age that you're in, where you are in life. It only matters how much you want to make it happen, right? Honestly, when I was my brokest I have ever been, I had the most to gain by working towards something. The only reason why I was so inspired and motivated during that time was because, I didn't see a future in college. I didn't see a future in a corporate job. Um, I wasn't the greatest at school, but I was driven to help my parents and my family, right? Most of the time I was kept accountable by the supplier. I mean, I had all these products that they trusted me with. I have a business partner that worked with me. And so I had people that relied on me. And then I had this dream of building a better life. And really, it started when I was 17, right? Starting to listen to Tony Robbins, old school CD and tapes on my daily drive to school, to work, and any opportunity I had. I really started feeding my mind and changing the way I was thinking. Because why? I was frustrated with my life. I was frustrated where I was. I was frustrated with not having money. I was frustrated that I didn't have any confidence. I was frustrated that I didn't have a girlfriend. Just kidding. A lot of us would be frustrated when we're single, right? You see all your friends got partners. You're like, man, where's mine, right? Where's my special man or special woman? I was really frustrated with my life because, I didn't see a future that was any better. I felt like I was stuck. So who here is frustrated right now? Raise your hand if you're frustrated some way or some form. Raise your hand if you're frustrated. Be honest, it's okay. I'm frustrated, right? Just raise your hand if you're frustrated about something, right? You know, and it's okay to be frustrated. It just means that you're meant to do something. You're meant to do more. It's got a way of saying you have to do something, right? So use that frustration to take action. My life didn't change right away, but my mind started to. So by the time I was 20, I had started this business with no idea how to run it. Like, just imagine that. Nobody told me how to start this thing. Told me how to start an LLC. Nobody told me how to do taxes. No, nobody told me how to do anything. I just had to go on Google, and luckily Google worked. And during that time, I had to Google everything. But I had one thing. I had a mission, right, to make this business work because I wanted to make my life better. So to be honest, you never know the things that you manifest until it becomes reality. I wrote down on a sheet of paper when I was 17 because I read this book, Think and Grow Rich, and they talk about writing your goals down. And honestly, I didn't think it was going to make any big difference, but I wrote down my goals. I wanted to own a business and I wanted to be a millionaire. I did not know what the millionaire meant, but I wrote it down on a sheet of paper anyway, right? This beat up a spiral notebook that I had. And it was all scribble scratch everywhere. And I just wrote down on a sheet of paper. I'm like, this is what I want. And years later, you don't truly believe in God until the blessing comes and you're like, whoa, like thinking back, like really, that's why we always think about the gratitude moments, because we're reflecting back on the good things that happen, because we keep thinking that our life suck in this moment, right? You always think about the suck that happens in your life right now. Like we forget, like, oh my goodness, like this happened in the past. That was good. That got me to where I am. Stop thinking about why your life sucks. Start being reminded of the blessing that you've been given, right? And a lot of that reality, it will come in time, right? It doesn't come right away. Like we want things to happen so fast, right? And some of us, it does happen fast, and some of us might take a little bit longer. It might take longer than you expect. But believe me, your dreams, your hope, your faith, and then your actions will become reality with time, right? Some of the biggest business in the world took a lot of time. It wasn't as if it was a quick journey. It was time that slowly built up, and then that's when they would become successful, right? Time will reveal your dedication, your discipline, and your commitment towards your goal. And I promise years of consistency will always pay off, right? So just think about this guy. If you see a guy at the gym or a girl at the gym, you're like, yeah, he's really fit or she's really fit, amazing looking body. Some could say it's genetic. Other will say they got plastic surgery. Who knows? But we can all agree that there was some effort to maintain that body, right? Can we all agree that consistency paid off? Raise your hand if you agree that consistency paid off. Raise your hand. Like, consistency does pay off. Like, that's something I truly believe. That's my conviction. So back to my time at this rental house, right? Everything was going well. We were selling a lot of cell phone cases. So I was in this mobile accessory business. So I sold cell phone cases. The brand is called Ringke. If you guys haven't heard of the brand, it's still running today. We exited the business in 2016, 2017, but it's still alive and well. During that time, we were shipping and packing out of this rental house. I'm talking, it was crazy. I had hired a bunch of college friends to help me out. Didn't know how to hire people, so just brought anybody in off the street, literally. There was money in the bank. Everything looked like it was going as planned. And so I thought, have you ever been at a place in your life where you're like, hey man, this is going great. Everything is perfect. Marriage is perfect. Family is perfect. Job's perfect. And suddenly, boom, something hits you. So that day something did hit us. I got home from class, not sure what the class was, but it's one of those outdated marketing classes that I paid for, that I owed money in student loans for, that offered no value today. I sat down on my computer. The house is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, which was turned into this office storage. I was in a computer and I have a bunch of stuff, boxes in the back behind me, and kind of a makeshift office. And there was a banner sign that says, "This is war." It was a reference to a movie called 300 during that time. I'm not sure if you guys seen the movie 300 with the guys with the six pack and, fighting. Yeah, 300 of them. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch it. It was a good, if you guys like buff dude, go watch it. But not sure why I had that banner, but we had it up. This is war because we believe that business is a battle. Open up my computer, logging into Amazon Seller Central to make sure that, to prep all orders for the day. And right when I logged into it, I got a notification saying, whoa, your account is temporarily suspended. I was blocked from doing anything. That was the first time. Dude, my business partner's freaking out. Sales went from 20K per month to zero. My heart sank. It was my first experience with, account suspension. I was kind of a shock, right? For like 30 minutes to an hour. After that, I decided that there's no point in sitting in this like fear and anxiety. Like, there's no one to blame for the situation. Like, I could be like, hey, yeah, Amazon suck. You did this, I did this, whatever, whoever did it, right? The supplier sucked, whatever. And the only thing I could do was finding a solution. So I started reading through the performance notice from Amazon, researching for answers on Google, reaching out to seller community to find out solutions, right? I decided in that moment that because I prepped my mindset, obviously, I guess when you're like been soaking up the positive mindset stuff, it works sometimes, right? It works. If you keep feeding yourself personal mindset growth stuff, it works. So I decided to just like, you know what? If this doesn't work out, we'll build another one. If this business doesn't work out, we'll get another one. If this thing doesn't work out, we'll do something else. And so I just started working on finding a solution for this problem. And that one mindset really kept me going through all of the multiple times that I experienced this. All right. And I'm gonna be honest, I got suspended multiple times. I've been to other situations as well that I'll talk about a little bit. But after figuring out what happened through seller performance notice, which you guys will experience, I'm telling you this, you will get a seller performance notice. You will be suspended, but it's okay. Don't worry. They just do that as a warning. Sometimes they send you a warning before you do it, and then they block your account for a little bit. Just address the issue and resolve it. This is me telling you to prepare yourself, right? Preparation will help you win the battle. So it was the reason why they suspended me and suspended our account. It was because one of the cases for this Galaxy S1. Who remember the S1, like the first iPhone, right? The first iPhone 1, right? We're on 15 right now. Has it been that long? iPhone 15. And you know what? There's going to be an iPhone 30 in the next 15 years, right? So I was on the first Galaxy S1 phone. The batch was bad. The case didn't fit right. I guess my suppliers just didn't test it properly. So I had a bunch of customer complaint. People were unhappy, high defect rate. And so they're like, okay, you need to withdraw this and resolve the issue. And so that's what happened. And once we sent an email, waited a couple of days, and they reactivated our account. This can happen to you. So just keep in mind. And there's no way to avoid this type of situation because business, there's no free pass. Just because you're in business doesn't mean your life will get easier. Just because you have a better mindset doesn't mean your life get easier. Just because you've been preparing doesn't mean your life get easier. It just means you're stronger, you're smarter, you're better at handling things. That's where we want to be in life. We want to be better, stronger, and smarter at handling situations, right? It's not smart to go up to somebody who's been training MMA for the last 30 years of his life and challenge him to a fight. That's not very smart, right? And you have no experience. That's exactly what it is. Like, you don't want to go out and be unprepared. And for us, it's always about preparation. All right. So for me, my personal experience is I've been sued for intellectual property. I had false claim against us regarding our brand, and that cost me millions. I got sued by competitors. There was disgruntled employees that sue us wrongfully and for firing them for not doing their job. That happens. There were times when I hired someone and they screwed up everything. So I lost million in several business as well. So this is normal. This is lessons. These are tests that will help you learn how to be better so that you don't make the same mistake. And if you don't learn from every test, you're gonna you're gonna get the same test, and it's gonna happen again, again, and again until you learn. That's the beauty of life, right? Who likes the beauty of, who understand the beauty of life, right? Raise your hand if you understand the beauty of life, right? Um, that's why there are not many people who can succeed, right? Because they give up too soon, because they didn't learn from their tests, their lessons. They didn't get any lesson out of the test. They just like, oh, my life sucked. Why did this happen? Right? Why did this happen to me? But it doesn't mean you guys are one of them, because I'm telling you guys now, you don't have to ask why this happened to me. The better question will be, what did I do wrong? What lesson am I being taught? What can I learn from this? When you ask yourself every time a problem comes, what can I learn from this? What can I do better? Right? That will help you overcome a lot of problems. So today I want to share a little bit of some of the lessons I've learned that helped me overcome a lot of the tests in my life. You know, the reason why I call problems, challenges, struggles, tests, because, you know, we don't like tests, but to be honest, tests are a way for us to gauge where we are. It shows like what level we're at right now, right? And we don't like getting Fs, right? Nobody here likes to get an F on a test. And everyone try to get an A. And some of you here are probably one of those the overachiever that strive for the A plus plus, right? I know some of you guys are the A plus students, you know, but tests are meant to tell us, you know, the level we are at in life. And if it helps us see the where we are in knowledge, wisdom, in humility, tests are opportunity for you to learn and grow. So just remember that. You have to have that mindset shift. Tests are an opportunity for you to learn and grow. It's really hard. I get it. It's really hard to have that mindset when you're going through something, right? It's very hard to have that mindset. But right now you are training to have that mindset. So the more you start accepting that, okay, tests are an opportunity for me to learn and grow. You want to keep that closer, and then now you have a mindset that receive situation like that when it comes, right? Now, if you don't learn and grow, the same problem and tests will keep showing up. That's a reminder, right? Quick example, you know, someone who keep getting married multiple times, divorced 3 times, right? You haven't learned from the last problem, right? You haven't learned from the last test. What happened? The wife been testing you, or your husband been testing you. Like, you haven't learned, right? The third time is not going to get any better. And so, like, it might not be them. It might be you. You didn't learn. You didn't understand how to maybe collaboratively work in a relationship, or learn how to take care of your spouse better, right? Your spouse is the closest people that you have, and so you want to treat them well. That's how you serve them better. That's me anyway. I do that. It's up to you guys if you guys decide want to do that. You know, you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, husband or wife. If you're single, how do I serve you better? When you ask that question, it helps build that relationship. It helps you become less selfish. It helps you become a person of service, because we are in the service business. Every business in the world is a service business. Remember that. If you believe in making money, if you believe in like helping people, if you believe in, you know, selling a product, you're serving people. Remember that. How can you serve people better? When you have that mindset, you will make your product better. You will handle customer service better. You will treat your friends and family, your wife better. And in turn, it will make your life better, right? So we're in the service business, honestly. That's the truth of it. If they tell you in your product business, no, you're wrong in the service-based business. But anyway, tests will come. So there will always be a test. Just make sure you learn from it. And here are the 7 lessons that I've learned to help me overcome any tests that comes into my life, tests, trials that comes, right? Number 1, you got to have a strong foundation. What I mean by foundation is, where are you in your mindset? So foundation of a strong mindset. right? You have to be feeding your mindset with positive content. If you're not doing that daily, you're going to be feeding yourself negative, right? So feed yourself with positive content intentionally, right? Train your body to do hard things. So exercise, it's hard. A lot of people don't like exercising, but train your body. Go exercise. Start with 5 minutes, then 30 minutes, right? Train your spirit, right? Train your spirit. If you're not connected with God, how can you have faith for a better future? That's my recommendation. How do you have faith? If you don't believe in anything, you won't believe in something, right? How can you even believe in yourself if you don't believe into something greater than you, right? Because your own strength is not going to help you succeed. You will fall eventually, 100%, if you don't have a strong belief in something, right? So train your spirit,
Tommy,
your mind, your body.
bang, bang,
All
bang,
right.
bang.
Oh, hold up. All right. Now let me explain why a strong foundation is important. So if you guys ever heard of the Twin Towers that got hit, fell down during 9/11, well, they rebuilt a new building. So this building is called the One World Trade Center building, okay? And replaced the Twin Towers. The foundation took 3 years to build. It took 3 years, but the building took 4 years to build up completely. So from the ground up, after that, it took 4 years. So the same amount of time to build a building from bottom up, they built bottom down, about the same amount of time. And it's the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere, okay? That's a strong foundation. They invested a lot of time. There's another building in San Francisco. It's called the Millennium Building. If you guys don't know, go look it up. This building cost $350 million. High-end condos, multiple millions to buy these condos, okay? And it's leaning, like the towers of Pisa. So it's leaning a certain angle. Now the windows are cracked and everything because these guys, they were supposed to drive these piles, which is like concrete foundation posts into the ground to 200 feet, but they didn't do that. They only did 50 foot because they're trying to be cheap and save money. They didn't do it right. And so now that building is leaning and it's going to cost them 150 million or more to fix that problem. So that's why a strong foundation is important, because you don't want to build your foundation on a weak mind, on a weak body, right? On a weak spirit. Focus on building your spirit, your mind, and your body so that you can prepare for a situation that comes, right? Number 2, always ask what lesson you can get out of this. In every situation, what am I being taught? What am I being taught? If you're not asking that, you're not being humble. You're telling yourself that I know better. I know it all. So always ask, what am I being taught? What lesson can I learn? All right. Number 3, focus on sustainability. It's not about winning in business. It's about keeping the business going, right? How long can you keep your business going? The longer your business lasts, the better it's going to get. It took me 3 years, and then it took me another 3 years to really see the major growth that I saw, right? And the same thing for life, right? It's about how long you can endure through life with a great attitude, right? Your life can, if you keep having a bad attitude, your life's going to keep sucking, or you can endure life and go through life with a great attitude and you can endure it for a very long time, right? Some people just have a great attitude and their life just seems to be amazing all the time. And you know what? That's because of their attitude. So focus on sustainability, right? Number 4, stop living based on preference. A lot of you guys might have preferences, right? I prefer to eat this. I prefer to sleep this way. I prefer to have my temperature a certain level. I prefer to do this, not that. I prefer to listen to this guy versus this guy. Stop having preferences. Get convicted on your belief. What are you convicted about? So for me, I believe that God has a plan for my life. There's a purpose for my life. I believe that there's a purpose for my life. And some of you might not have that belief. But I promise you, you have a purpose in your life. right? You have to have a conviction. So be convicted about something that your life have a purpose, right? Get convicted, have a strong belief into something, right? Believe that your life will be better, right? Why would you believe the opposite of that? There's no point. So don't be convicted about, oh, my life is gonna suck for the rest of my life. Like, don't be convicted of that. You're gonna get that. Your words, your mind, the thing that you believe in will become reality. So have a strong belief that you will succeed. Have a strong convicted belief that you have purpose. Have a strong belief that you're amazing, that you are meant for greatness. So that's my conviction, right? So have a strong conviction, right? Don't have preference. Have conviction. So get convicted, get a strong belief into something. All right. Lastly, be accountable. I stopped blaming people. When I started doing that, my life changed. I stopped blaming others for my problems, and I started taking ownership for the things that happened in my life. In my business too, I was like, man, when I started complaining, things didn't get better. But when I started saying, okay, what can I do about it? Complaining will only get worse. Like, I remember the other day, I was so tired. Daylight saving, God, testing you. The US government is testing us with daylight savings time. Like, spring forward, so I lost an hour of sleep and had to wake up like 5 a.m. and it was actually 4 a.m. It was a battle, and I woke up and I was so tired. And I was gonna complain to my wife, I'm so tired today, honey. And instead I was like, screw that, I'm gonna go take a nap. Right? Instead of complaining to her, she'd be like, yeah, you should have woke up early, go take a nap, or she's like, stop complaining, things like that. I just went and took a nap, and that solved my problem. So be accountable. Number 6, develop patience. A lot of us have a hard time developing that patience, right? Things will not happen the way you want it. Things will not happen as fast as the way you want it to. Things will not happen the way you always want it to go. Understand that it takes time when you're planting a seed for it to grow. It takes time. Everything that you guys are doing is training. You guys are changing your mindset, because at the end, the mindset is really what determines if you're going to be successful or not. Because a lot of the successful entrepreneurs, business owners, athletes, artists, singers, celebrity, they have a mindset that I will keep going. Let's go as far as I can. So developing that patience, like, I'm not there yet, but it will come. You have to know how to develop patience, and it's hard, right? We live in a world that continuous feeding us like instant gratification. We want something, we go out, we buy it. We order something from Amazon, it comes. Teach yourself daily patience. Like, okay, if you want to buy something, here's a trick. Like, if you want to buy something, and it saves you money too. If you guys need to save money, here's a trick. You need to buy something on Amazon, don't buy it at 12 in the morning or 1 in the morning. That's a terrible time to be buying things, because you will buy things that you don't need. If you are planning to buy something, write it down on a sheet of paper. Give yourself 7 days. Ask yourself, do I really need this? Give yourself 7 days. If you really need it, buy it. If you don't, then there you go. You don't need it for 7 days, right? So develop patience. Last thing, this is very important, is the community. You have to surround yourself with the right fighters, not complainers. Imagine if I was around the people that complain all the time. I wouldn't be where I am today. Luckily, I was isolated. My head was down. I was just around 1 or 2 people all the time. There was not a lot of complainers around me. We all was aiming to succeed, aiming for success. We didn't complain to pollute each other's mind. We will focus on, supporting each other, lift each other up. And that's why we have this community, is for lifting and supporting each other. Speak life into each other. Do you guys know what speaking life into each other is? If you guys don't know what it really is, it's like a simple thing as, hey, you can do it. You're doing a great job. You're a good problem solver. Keep working at it. Don't quit. You got this. It's a very simple words, but a lot of us weren't taught how to do that. And so we reach into the negative because we receive a lot of the negative voices from the people around us growing up. It's a very simple thing in a community. All right. So we need a community. I didn't do this alone. You didn't do this alone. You didn't made it all the way to this point in your life alone. Remember that. We need a community. So lean into the community. that we have, the AMZ Seafood community, and speak life into each other, lift each other up, saying you can do it. Let's go through the 1-3-1 process. If you got a problem, right? One problem, offer 3 solution, and then choose the one solution that's best, right? It's a simple process. Learn to use that process. 1-3-1 framework. One problem, 3 solution, and choose the best solution. Right? And you guys can help each other with that as well. And this could apply into your daily life. Surround yourself with strong fighters, because you don't want to go to battle with people who are complaining, right? Man, that'd be the worst battle ever. Like, imagine we were watching Braveheart, right? Anyone see Braveheart? And William Wallace is like cheering people on, and it's like they're about to battle, and like a bunch of guys just complain, like, I don't want to do this. It's cold out here. It's wet, my skirt's not long enough, right? So go watch the movie if you guys haven't seen it. It's a great movie. I enjoyed it. It's an old movie, but anyway. I just want to really share that, there will be time in your life where you'll be tested. It will happen. There will be trial that will come. If you don't believe that one is coming, then one is on its way right now. So just remember, you will be tested. And I believe in any business, this business, and any business that you face, there will be hardship and struggle. All business require hard work and effort. It requires your daily commitment. And if this is like, we're not telling you this is a get rich quick, right? We always tell you, you don't get rich quick doing this. This is requiring you to develop skills, right? Develop patience, develop your mindset. That's really what it's about. Because when you learn the skills in this, you can apply it to the other business that you want to start. You won't be afraid anymore. Like, the reason why I'm able to start many business is not because I'm better than you guys. I'm not better than any one of you. Dude, my GPA was not the greatest, I promise you. But it was not the determinant of my success, right? The reason why I didn't have a good GPA, maybe I'm just making an excuse, was because I was working 2 jobs, right? Doing too many things at once. It's not an excuse. But I know that there's this astronaut. I forgot his name. He's Korean. He's handsome. He was a Navy SEAL. He's also an astronaut. He's also a doctor, and he went to Harvard. I don't know how he did all those things, but we don't have to be like that to be successful. I was a 2.5 GPA student, and I just kept trying and learning and never giving up. And selling online is a type of business. It's a real business that requires skill, right? So develop your skills, develop knowledge in this area so that you can apply it to actual business, other actual business out there. Like this brick and mortar business, maybe you want to get into. Understanding how to do financial analysis, understanding how to do marketing. Those things are all skills that you can learn. Remember that. To become the successful business owner you meant to be, because when I started, I had to learn and I made a lot of mistakes along the way to learn how to business. It took me 3 years. In that 3-year period, I learned how to be a better business owner. So it takes time. So be patient. Your time will come. Your moment will come. Your entire life will change as long as you are continuing to fight and not give up on yourself.